And hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Daily Dirty Podcast. I'm your host, John Croft. Hope everybody is doing well. It's been a while since I've been able to do one of these videos. Got one of my big dogs in here with me. So today's my birthday. Happy birthday. 50 years old. Feel older than that. So I'm going to have some dogs coming in and out of here because I left my door open. Got the wife in there making the birthday cake and some of the stuff we're going to have for dinner. And that's kind of a couple of things I wanted to talk about. And I kind of been doing some mental state podcasts, and I'm kind of wanting to stick that a little bit here. And give me 1 second here. Messing up my light, homie. That's Blue. He isn't our smallest one, but he's the second to the smallest one. You gonna lay down over Bubba? Okay. So here's the thing. So when you fill out applications and things like that, and you usually fill in a box, for your age group, and mine was 45 to 50, but now mine's 50 to 55. And some people, they kind of can't really, handle getting a little bit older. You know what I'm saying? So you start to wonder, how many years do I have left, or what have I accomplished when I got to this age? And I don't know. Excuse the noise in the background. Again, I didn't want to shut my door because my dogs are just all over the place. I'd be making more noise if I didn't let them stay in here and lay down. But age thing just kind of gets to some folks. I had a real problem with that for the longest time. And my wife, she kind of, like I said, she's always there helping me out. And picked up a new vape today. No, I'm not sponsored by them or doing a review, but this is called the Fogger. Up, I got my other little dog coming in here. And this one is a Kiwi Dragonberry. Girl, I got that closed for a reason, sister friend. So, why don't you come around this other side? Go lay with Blue. Come on, go lay down with Blue. You see him over there, crackhead? I know, Mama. You want to be in the video? That's a good girl. How come you're not in there helping Mama cook? You want to come in the video? Yeah. And this right here, this is Goldie. Well, because she's a gold color, can't really see because I got the blue light on. Kind of like because it's a little soft, You can't hop in my lap, Mama. You want to hop in my lap? All right, hang on. Come here. Oh, you got to help me out, girlfriend. You're so heavy. Ready? Oh, God, Lord Jesus. Ah. All right, there we go. All right, you're ripping this out of my head. One more arm. Oh, there we go. Lord Jesus. There we go. Okay. Whew. All right, I guess you're doing the podcast. You doing the podcast, maybe? Oh, you got this covered. Tell us what you think about it. All right. Okay. This here is Goldie. Her and Blue are brother and sister, and we rescued them down the road because the neighbors down there didn't know how to take care of their animals. Their siblings died from ants eating them because that's how young they were. But I told them, and if y'all can't take care of them, we'll take them. Now we got 5 dogs. So, I don't know. All right, come on. Let's go lay it down to Mama's. Come on. There you go. Go get to Mama's. Whew. Sorry about that. I don't know how well that picked up. As always, I keep it in the video. Hey, leave him alone. Come on, stop. I'm going to kick y'all out. Anyway, here we go. Back at it. Whew, I should have turned the heat down. It's hot as hell up in this house, but Let that adjust. So again, we're kind of talking about how as you get older, you start thinking of a lot of things. And I was real bad about that. I just think, there's so many things I want to accomplish. I want to get my shop built up and get my cars and stuff I wanted to build and sell and stuff like that. And I was telling my wife, I was just like, I'm going to be too old to turn the wrench. Yeah. Get it started. And then a year later, I die or some shit. But you got to look at it this way. I've seen people in their 70s still working on vehicles and stuff. And, and I'm in pretty decent shape. I lost some weight and we haven't been back to the gym in a little while. It was just between the weather and a lot of stuff that's going on. So the one thing, and again, I'm not licensed to tell people what to do or give you advice. All I can tell you is what I do, and maybe if it helps you out, it does. If it doesn't, it is what it is, right? You got to kind of take a step back and just kind of think about, what have you accomplished? Have I accomplished a lot of things? No. But I wouldn't take it back because it makes you who you are today. And there are some things that I'm working on and things I'm trying to get better at to kind of help Toro, my wife and I have been together 7 years. Well, 8 years, but married 7 years. So actually a little over 8 years we've known each other. So I think in a year and a few months after being in a relationship, we ended up getting married. But we've only been on maybe 3 vacations in that time. And give me one quick second. I'm going to shut the door because it's going to get loud in here. All right, I'm back. Sorry about that. And really haven't taken any vacations. And I can blame my current job. But I mean, that's corporate. I used to complain, and some of my podcasts kind of bitched about my job and stuff. But the thing is I got a job. There's people out there that don't have a job. And the worry also is going in when I talk about, you getting older is ageism. And you ask, well, John, what is ageism? It's a lot of different things, honestly. The thing is like if you apply for a position, they, of course, they're always going to ask your age. And that's where the box I'm telling you check. It's 50 to 55, and that's gender. And there's a million things, but age is one of them. And they look at you and they're like thinking, golly, this guy's like 51 years old. How long is he going to last at our company? We need someone that's going to invest. We can invest in them. They can invest in us, also the country, which is bullshit, my honest opinion. Think this dude's 51. What can we teach him? Or, is he teachable? My manager that I got now, he's really cool. He's just straight up. I think he's, try to do what he can to kind of help out. But a lot of times hands are tied and things like that. And there's, politics and BS and whatnot. But the one thing that I liked about him was him just stating, he's like, the thing is you got to learn something new. Your resume is really great, but you got to bring something else to the table. Now we got these young folks that come in, and there's nothing against that. They don't stay at companies very long because they're young. They're going to get a little bit of experience and they're going to bounce around a little bit until they find a home, or they might just always do that. And it's smart. I got nothing against that. The fact is when you are working somewhere and you look at your age and you're like, well, why are we going to promote this guy? I mean, this guy's already good at his role. He can just teach the people that come in and just be like that, but we just won't pay him for it. That's just everywhere. So I can't really complain about where I work at because of that. But back to what my manager said, he's like, you just got to learn some new skill. He's actually going back to college to learn AI for managers. And I was thinking about, there's a course that's AI for engineers, and I'm an engineer. So that's going to be kind of the goal. And you got to look at it that way. Like I talked to y'all about, I'm building a server back here and getting things going. My wife and my sister-in-law have a little website that they got going on, Fire Whisper, that they, sell like, the bracelets and stuff like that. I mean, these things are pretty cool. And of course, I'm working on getting my little website up and going, which is going to be Daily Dirty, because I'm going to be making my Daily Dirty, marinade sauce, dipping sauce. There's different variants of it, whatever, which today, actually, I'm going to finally write it down of what my measurements are to get that great, lovely Daily Dirty taste. It's good on steaks. It's good on everything so far that we put it on. I chanced pork because I'm not supposed to eat pork, but I chanced it on some pork chops the other night, and it wasn't messing around. Anyway, so the thing is just some things that I'm doing that might be able to help some folks out that are in my situation of you're getting a little bit older and things like that. Is find something that you enjoy. Like I do enjoy this, and y'all every podcast or every video I do on YouTube or wherever, I say, hey, if you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. If you subscribe, you subscribe. If you don't, it's for me, because I enjoy doing it. It actually helps me talking about some things that I deal with to get it off my chest. Now, I'll talk to my wife about it. My wife knows more about me than anybody in my life. She's my angel. She's my soulmate. She my ride or die. So, and the one thing is I push is honesty and quit being fake. I'm not going to be fake. I don't expect anybody else to. I mean, get in where you fit in, I guess, or whatever. But eventually that fakeness is going to catch up to you. My wife was saying, well, hey, you got some of these jobs, just kind of put it on your resume. And I'm not mad at her for saying that. And I'm like, okay. But here's the thing is if I don't know enough about that, I can't BS my way through it. Like SQL is something I want to learn. More Linux, like Red Hat. Right now I'm trying to put it on my server and I'm having all kinds of problems. And I haven't done it in so long that it's just probably one little small thing that I'm missing. I got to look at some YouTube videos or whatever, which is great to have YouTube videos for shit like that. So working on that. And again, when you get a little bit older, you got to find some things that kind of excite you. Like right now, I can't build cars. I don't got that money. I mean, we're going to be at this job, not this job, but this house for probably another year or two. We don't know what's going to happen with Trump. And we just don't know how that's going to go down, how that's going to fly. It's not like he can snap his fingers as soon as he comes in office. All of a sudden, mortgage rates are down. The economy's better. We just don't know what's going to happen there. So I'm giving myself 6 months to a year to learn a new skill that's out, which is AI. But SQL is going to help me out. I'm going to learn how to do. I used to do it back in the day. A little bit of SQL and a little bit of web server and stuff like that. It's just been so long. It's been probably about 15 years since I've really dealt with any of that. The job I got now, I mean, we do storage, networking, virtualization, management, admin. I mean, it's all a bunch of stuff. And you don't really think about those things back in the day because we don't install software on the customer's computers, or servers or whatever. They do. And we just troubleshoot why it's not working. So it's just some steps that it's like riding a bicycle. You got to kind of knock some of the dust off of it and bring it back out, to put back on your resume. Because I take stuff like that off my resume because if someone's like, oh, wow, you can do this, you can do that, like Aloha systems, point of sale systems. I haven't done that in like 20 years. I took it off my resume, and I also have some old people hit me. It's like, hey, we got a point of sale role, if you want to get into it. And I'm like, man, I don't even know what version they'd be on or what's going on with Aloha systems or anything like that. I was like, it's been a very long time, and then they're like, oh, well, we can give you $15 an hour. And I'm like, yeah, maybe 15, 20 years ago when I did do that. No. So you get your little podcast going. I get my Daily Dirty Sauce hooked up, maybe get some merch. And everybody's like, well, why are you doing merch? Anybody watching your shit? I'm like, I'm doing a lot. But, my wife goes out and we do these farmers markets and these pop-ups and stuff like that. And you can set it out. It might be something good, that might fly off. And those are just ideas, and it's age appropriate for me. I enjoy cooking. I love cooking. I perfected the ribs, even though I can't have ribs. And he was like, well, get beef ribs. There's not enough. There's not enough on that beef ribs. By the time, shit, you get some baby back ribs. Oh, man. I've done ribs so many times. I haven't even had a chance to put my sauce on. And I might do that this summer. If I get my sauce is pretty much perfected. I do it by taste, but I got to kind of, if I'm going to sell it, I got to get it right each time. So now I got some measuring cups and stuff like that and get my stuff together to where I know what I'm putting in there. I'm going to write it down and get it to where it's at, to where it's on paper. And that way I can make it the same each time. right? Great. So you have things, that you can do to kind of keep your mind off this. Oh, I'm in the next checkbox. And yeah, I mean, getting older sucks. Everybody hates it, but it's just inevitable. I was worried that I might end up dying before I get to do things that I wanted to do. But if you're too busy putting your mind through that, you're not living for today. And I had a bad habit about doing that. My wife, she was just, hey, 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 hey. And of course, me, it takes a while to get my head right. ADHD, it's like I'm grasping at it. I get what you're saying, but give me a minute to catch up to it. I'll get there one day. So one day it came up, and here I am. And it's getting a whole lot better as far as mental state with that. You just have to, well, do what you do, right? Me, I just had to get my head on straight, work on my headspace with everything. There's some things that I want to learn. My thing is I don't learn unless I enjoy something. And the software, I don't enjoy it because it's boring to me, but purpose outweighs that for me. So my purpose is to learn SQL so I can get my wife's business done better. They're doing like 2 or 3 apps just to work whenever I can do SQL to make it all into one and make it do basically anything they want it to do for free. Instead of having to pay someone to do all this crap, and then the website, I can host the web, you know, and be able to make tweaks to where they're not paying all this money because every time they need something fixed, which it seems like, and I've been there and I told them, I was like, here's the thing is they can tweak a little thing to make things kind of mess up. And they're like, oh, well, we're going to charge you this amount to fix this, or you're going to be on a retainer. So you're spending, depending on how big the website is or what's going on, anywhere from 200 to like 1,000, 1,500 to bigger companies, man, they're like $3,000 or $4,000 on a retainer if anything happens 24/7, right? So I can save that for me doing it because it's family discount, which is free. That way it saves a little bit of money to put more money back into the product to make the products better for the customer, right? To get more marketing out there, to get things that really makes it more important in that aspect, right? So purpose outdoes boredom for me any day. I got the equipment. I'm actually getting some servers from a buddy of mine I work with, and hopefully we can pick those up Friday. And then I'm going to do a short little rant about Amazon. And excuse my language, these motherfuckers. So we pay for Prime. Now, yeah, we live out in the country and we're not going to get anything next day, but seriously, people that live in the city, when's the last time you got something that next day? So when you go in and order something, you look at it and you're like, okay, we can get this on Wednesday. And say it's like Friday, or you get something that's like Tuesday. You're going to order that one because it's going to get to you by Tuesday. Well, not here. Normally, but the past I say the last month or two, Amazon's been dropping the ball. So I'll talk to my regular not FedEx guy. Well, I know the FedEx guy, but the regular UPS guy, and he, how UPS trucks are, they're huge. They can make it down our dirt road. When it's raining or when it's snow. I mean, they were here freaking on Friday. Whenever it was crap, it was still freaking snowing. Same with FedEx. Same with our local mail person. But Amazon, you hire these people. They're like, oh, man, the weather's bad. I ain't delivering shit today. That's Amazon. You're trying to be so cheap. You got Bezos, man. You get a divorced wife, she's taking you for a lot of money, so you're just going to fuck everybody else in the process. Asshole. Ran over. So I'm waiting on a firewall hardware because, yeah, there's cloud software and stuff like that, but I'm trying to make this base of operation and get things going to where we can make a little bit more and get better equipment. But all you need is really good security, a good firewall. I mean, I got an old ASA 5500, Cisco, but that thing's so outdated. So $50, $50 or $60 for a TP-Link, firewall, VPN setup, and this Omeda stuff that you can do, which I'm probably going to have to buy a little additional piece, which I didn't know, but it's enough for right now. Nobody's going to hack into, this little bitty old website. They're not going to hack into my website. I wish they would because I can do reverse hacking, but that's a different story. So you get these things that occupy your mind. Something will pan out. I'm not saying doing like, I'm doing like 50 different things, doing a few things, I'm shaking some trees. I'm seeing what's going to fall, see if there's something that can grip. I mean, it ain't like I'm trying to be, TikTok or YouTube or Instagram famous or podcast famous, but it occupies your mind and keeps your mind off of thinking, man, I'm too old for something, or nobody's going to want to talk to me because I'm too old as far as a job. Nobody's going to hire me. People going to think I'm overqualified, or we can't pay you enough. And I've been through that ringer. I'm like telling them, I'm like, look, or they say you're going to get bored. I'm sorry. I applied for your role. I know what it is. And you're assuming I'm going to get bored. It's a cop out, or, well, we can't afford you. Again, I see how much the job is, and I applied, which means I will take it. It's just they think you're stupid. I don't know. So me, I kind of take a break from finding another gig, and to my manager at work, I was like, look, I'm going to look into a few things and get some stuff up there. He's like, man, get into AI, man, get your Linux. You can take that anywhere. So we're a partner with Red Hat for our company, and we're able to use some of that stuff, and you can get and it's free anyway. It doesn't matter if if you're a company or whatever. I mean, the training is, pretty intense or whatever that you can get, because we get a discount through the company, or, it's free from the company, but anybody can go and download, the newest version of Red Hat. I think it's like 9.5 or something like that. And I wanted to put it on a standalone server that I had, but it's not that it's old enough. It's just, I got to kind of figure it out. And then these servers back here, and then I got a Zima board, and there's just a million things. And even my computer that I got right here, I can definitely do a VM, but if I want it to run constantly, that's just going to hog the resources of me doing regular stuff on my computer, right? I want to be able to set it up to where I can just log in from my computer and do what I need to do. And, I love that kind of stuff, getting all that up and going, make it look good. And then whenever I can put that on my resume, I don't have to say where I did it at. Just say I know how to do it. If they ask me, well, where'd you learn how to do it? And I was like, man, just odd jobs here and there. I mean, I ain't like that was my main job, but I knew how to do it. And I went in and I done some projects, Technically, you're not lying because I'm doing projects. So, again, everybody, getting older doesn't suck. Well, okay, it sucks, but it's inevitable. We're all going to die one day. We don't know when or where or how. And if you constantly dwell on that aspect of getting older, I was there. I was getting down, depressed, and all kinds of stuff about it probably about a year or two ago. And I kind of been wanting to get this little projects up and going and stuff. And now, we're able to kind of do it. We got a little bit extra scratch. Birthday money from the in-laws, always good, bling, bling, and having a really good resource that I work with that had, they're older servers. They're a couple R710s, and that's what that is. That's an R710, a couple of 2950s, and they're all Dell products, it's a Power Edge and stuff like that. So I know how to work on that and set all that stuff up. So getting those, yeah, it's a little bit older equipment, but again, it's not like we're running a huge business out of my house. It's enough to set up a couple of websites, for a web server. It's good to get the SQL set up, which I'm going to set up on top of Red Hat, which is the same thing with Red Hat. I'm thinking either Ubuntu server, but the thing is, Ubuntu servers, I like a GUI. Even though I'm old school, I hate typing, but I might have to do that. But I'm not going to do it for that. I'm just going to practice a little bit and get the GUI probably for Ubuntu and get, that moving. Once I get better at it, then I can kind of switch it over because it's less resources and it makes things quicker. Internet's a little bit faster, we had and went to that T-Mobile Amplified, which it didn't really give us a whole lot more speed, but it's more stable. And our upload speed is really important. So we finally got to around, some days we get up to 15, 18 upload speed, which is great for streaming. And you're going to need that, if you're going to be hosting a website. So getting into those few things is something to keep my mind occupied. Doing the daily dirty sauce, again, something to keep me occupied. And it's something that you never know that might just make a big hit. I mean, it's not like I want to be rich. I like to have some extra income because I'm the sole provider of my family. I mean, my wife does these things, right? but I want her to do something that she enjoys. And if you do stuff that you enjoy, it's not a job. Like I had friends tell me, he's like, "Oh, don't you hate doing engine swaps for people?" I'm like, no. They're like, well, you don't really make any money. I know. Pack of cigarettes and a Gatorade. That's what I charged for an engine swap, and I get to keep the old engine. I was given opportunities to people that spent so much money just on the swap itself, they couldn't afford someone to do the engine swap. So I do it. I mean, you got to think back then, it's like $400 to $1,000, depending on what you wanted swapped. And I did it for free. Well, a pack of cigarettes and a Gatorade. Let me keep your old engine because I'm going to turn around and I'm going to sell that engine, or I'm going to put it in a car and has a bad engine and make my money where I make it. But they get to enjoy what they want, making their car quicker, doing whatever, and that's the part that I like, is for them to be able to enjoy that. And that makes me happy. And that's the same thing with doing the Daily Dirty sauce. I love that sauce. I got a Cajun one that's going to go with it and everything like that. A couple of different brands or flavors rather. Shit. But I'm also doing it because I enjoy it and it keeps my mind off the burdens of getting older. Doing this stuff, yeah, I might take a year and probably be 50, 52 before I get a better job maybe, or a side gig or something, but I'm okay with that. I get to hone in and get something that I'm going to learn because I know it's going to produce something for my family. And that's what's important to me. So just want to do a quick one. Hey, maybe less than 30 minutes. It's pretty snazzy. I'm still quick update. This will go on YouTube. I haven't quite separated yet because I got a lot of things that's been going on. I haven't had a chance to do all that. But I'm still going to be doing the YouTube for doing some reviews of some products that I've done to build some basic rigs for pretty cheap for people that can't afford all that money. To buy these expensive rigs, it don't really cost a whole lot. You just got to know how to put your stuff together and make it work together. And you can play any game. I can play any game I want, any game that's out there. And I built my rig for $1,500. I can build rigs for $700. You might not be able to, it might be just a gaming rig only, but if you're wanting to run VMs and do a bunch of other stuff, it probably won't. But if you're just wanting a gaming rig, I can tell you how to do it for cheap. That, and then I'm going to go in as I'm learning how to do some SQL and this AI and set up these servers and stuff like that. I'm going to do some videos on YouTube on that. And this one right here is also probably going to go over to Spotify. I haven't put nothing in there in a while, but nobody really watches it. It takes a while to get grip, and I'm still watching a few YouTube folks, to kind of get a little bit here and there. And yeah, something to either get going, or if it don't, hey, that's fine, because I'm still going to keep posting because it helps me. Just want y'all to remember that. Don't always think that you got to do something for everybody else. Be selfish. So I'm being selfish with this. If nobody views it, or nobody likes it, or nobody subscribes to it, I wasn't going into it for that. I'm doing it for my mental health. But again, I'm going to cut this one a little short. The normal. I hope everybody had a great New Year's and Christmas and all the good holidays that passed by. Hope everybody continues having a good year. Hope the weather is been okay for everybody else. I know there's some people that snowed in. We got snowed in a little bit. It looks like it's kind of breaking off a little, but everybody keep safe. And I just hope everybody's trying to keep a good mental, stock of what's going on today in your life and work on it. Is it easy? No. Is it a daily grind? Yes, it is for me. But I just hope everybody has the patience to go through some of my videos. And if you want to subscribe. If you want to just watch it and not subscribe, that's fine. If you want to like it, like it. If you want to leave a comment. I don't care what kind of comment it is. Even if you don't. Because, again, it's for me. Anyway, everybody take care. This is Daily Dirty Podcast. Your host, John Croft, signing off. Peace.